Okay, hello everybody. Happy Wednesday to you. Your assignment today is on distributing the negative. And this video is put together for both the Math 1 B-Day students as well as the Connect students because the B-Day students did this last week. So I wanted to provide them an example again of what to do. And for those of you out there in Connect, you may or may not have learned this last year. So I want to go over it briefly to make sure everybody understands what to do. So if you notice here on most of these multi-step equations, there is a negative number or a negative sign outside of your parentheses that's going to need to be distributed in order for you to find the correct answer. So what we're going to do is just briefly go over what it means to distribute the negative. So if I have negative 8 times x plus 5 equals 16, okay, I have the negative 8 on the outside of my parentheses. So what I need to do is multiply what is on the inside by what is on the outside. So when I multiply this, the negative sign, like I say, travels with me. So negative 8 times x is going to be negative 8x. Negative 8 times 5 results in a sign change because a positive times a negative is going to be a negative. So that creates a sign change right there. Okay? And that's why it's important to realize what happens when we distribute a negative. So now my equation is a negative 8x minus 40 equals 16. So what I do next then is I add 40 to both sides. And then I divide both sides by negative 8. And my answer here is x equals negative 7. And just so we can see, if we were to substitute negative 7 back into the original equation and check our work, negative 7 plus 5 is going to be negative 2. So negative 8 times negative 2 equals 16. So 16 equals 16, and my equation is balanced on both sides. So that's our first example. So let's look at another one. Let's suppose this time we have negative 3x minus 7 equals 40. Now this one's going to be a little bit different because when we distribute the negative, we treat that negative on the outside like it is a negative 1. So that is going to be negative 1 times 3x is going to be a negative 3x because a negative times a positive is a negative. Then I've got negative 1 times this negative 7 here. So again, this is going to result in a sign change because negative times a negative becomes a positive. So that gives me negative 3x plus 7 equals 40. So same thing, it's just a two-step equation from here. Subtract 7 from both sides. Then divide both sides by the negative 3. So x equals negative 11. Now, if we were to do the same thing and check our work and substitute negative 11 back into my original equation, I would have negative 3x minus 7 equals 40. So again, if I substitute that negative 11 in for x, so now I have the negative on the outside still. So 3 times the negative 11 is a negative 33 minus 7 equals 40. So negative 33 minus 7 is a negative 40. So two negatives make a positive. So 40 equals 40. All right, and we will do one last example just so you can see it in another way. Okay, this one is going to be 8x minus 2x minus 5 equals 23. So, again, I need to distribute that negative to everything inside the parentheses. So that gives me a minus 2x because I treat that negative like it's a negative 1. So negative times a negative, again, is going to produce a sign change and make that a plus 5. And I still have 23. So 8x minus 2x gives me 6x plus 5 equals 23. Subtract 5 from both sides. So 23 minus 5 is 18. Divide both sides by 6. And x equals 3. So again, if we wanted to check our work in the original equation, I have 8 times 3, because I substitute 3 for every place there's an x, minus 2 times 3 minus 5 equals 23. So 8 times 3 is 24. Minus, so 2 times 3 is 6 minus 5, and all that equals 23. So 24 minus 6 minus 5 is 1 equals 23. So 23 equals 23. So that's how you get the right answer. Now, if you forget to do your sign change, you will probably still get an answer. It just won't be the right answer. So we should never get an equation wrong because we can always check our work by finding, when we find that value for x, just substituting it back into the original equation. Okay, so there are your examples for today. It is Wednesday. I will not be on Google Meet today because we have meetings during that time. But if you do need assistance, please email me, and we could probably do it on Thursday on Google Meet, or I might be able to email you an answer. Okay, so your assignment for today is simply to do problems 1 through 10. You're welcome to attempt 11 and 12, but 11 and 12 is going to be where we start our lesson for Thursday. So do 1 through 10 at a minimum, and if you would like, you can try 11 through 12. Have a great day, everybody.